Welcome back, Task Force members. Tormentic here, and we had a community day yesterday. I don't know if you actually know. I had a ton of fun with it. I'm going to go over exactly what I experienced, what I found out, a couple cool little things that I found while playing, and then towards the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the upcoming Brilliant event, the Hogwarts Back to School event, which starts in roughly about 2 days. I'm going to talk about part 1 and part 2, so stick around and get all of the details. Welcome back to Magical Task Force. First off, I want to talk about Formidable Pixies. I was able to actually get most of what I needed yesterday. I think I only need one more now for that quest. I know a lot of people have been stuck on that, and honestly, all I did was just grind fortress after fortress after fortress. I want to say I found most of them around floor levels 3 and 4. Using various different runes. Didn't really matter what the family was or what the level of the rune was, but I was able to find like 8 of them yesterday, which was just unheard of. Now, this right here is the picture I shared before in an earlier video. It's from Orange Wizard 2019. This shows all of the foundables that you can find in fortresses, what families they are associated to, and I gotta tell you, this was super helpful yesterday on trying to get some of the foundables that I'd never actually seen before. So I'll leave a link in the description so you can go to her Facebook page and grab this. I want to talk about the complimentary gift we also got. It was a bunch of cool runes. I hope you saved those silver keys for the upcoming Brilliant event, and those rune stones that you notice go tie into the new Brilliant event. Now, getting into the battles, we aren't as high level profession-wise as a lot of other people. I've been seeing a lot of people do like Dark Floor 5 and stuff. The highest we were able to really get up to, I want to say, was maybe 9. We did beat a 9. We tried in a 10, but it just didn't work. We had a professor level 6, another level 6, a magizoologist, I believe, that was level 7, and another professor, myself, which was level 8. So we didn't have an aurora, so dark wizards were just tearing us up left and right. And honestly, a lot of that is due to the fact that we live in a resort area, so it's really hard for us to get groups together, especially this time of year. But we had a lot of fun. It was 4 of us that were inside of the fortress. You definitely could tell a little bit of the bonus XP that we were getting, besides the Barufio Brain Elixir XP as well. And like I said before and early in the video, I found like a good 8 formidable pixies from just doing these fortresses yesterday, so I'm really stoked about that. Hopefully going to be able to move up and get to the SOS where the werewolves are before the 15th, because remember, we have a full moon coming on the 15th, so you're going to need to try to get to that SOS assignment where you need the werewolf tufts before then, or else you're going to have to wait until September in order to actually fulfill that quest. Now, this is probably the coolest thing to happen in all of the battles that we had yesterday. If you notice up at the top, you actually watch my life, and my life actually goes to 0. And what happened there was that our magizoologist sent a heal to me the moment that the spider actually attacked. So you saw how I jumped up 2 HP right there? It was kind of crazy how that was able to keep me alive, even though that thing did critical damage. Now, I got an awesome amount of foundables that I'd never actually seen before, like the Deathly Hollows right there. I was able to finish off a bunch of stuff, like you saw the trick one over there earlier. I was able to get enough to actually put that in, a bunch of books, a bunch of candies, things like that. I was able to get one of the accusation chairs, which was awesome because I was going for the Ministry of Magic foundables. So I was able to get some of them. I wasn't able to actually put any of them inside of the registry, but hey, just having one of them itself makes me really happy. Now, as you all know, you aren't guaranteed to actually get a foundable from the runestone that you actually use. There is a cool little trick though I've been seeing circulating around, so I'll try to make a video about that sometime soon. Moving forward, though, I want to talk about the upcoming Brilliant event, the first part of it, I should say, because there are 2 parts of this, so this is going to adhere to the rules of the last Brilliant event that we had, Potter's Calamity. It's interesting and funny, personally to me, that it's a back-to-school event because, of course, most kids are going back to school now within some time in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But I want to show you exactly what I know so far. There hasn't really been much released. There aren't really many infographics or anything. Wizards Unite Hub does have a really good breakdown of the trace foundables and things you'll be able to find inside of port keys, fortresses, stuff like that. So I will go over that with all of you. And there are a couple things that we do need to remember, that like the 2 Brilliant events will share the same runestones and also have different port keys. So 2 key reminders. These are the 4 trace foundables you'll be able to find, though, during the first part 1 of the upcoming Brilliant event. Should be pretty easy. Again, most of these spawn from past events quite regularly. And remember that since we have a 2-part event, if you don't find all of these, that's fine. You will be able to get a second chance with the upcoming part 2. Now, this right here is really interesting. From what we've been able to gather, there are no 7-kilometer port keys. They are now being reduced by 3-kilometer port keys, which will make a lot of people happy. I hope you saved, like I said, those silver keys that you got from Community Day in order to try to get and use these, because I don't want a lot of people wasting silver keys, because I feel like that happened a lot with the Potter's Calamity event. Now, going over and looking at part 2. Part 2 is interesting, though, because it will actually run during the Wizards Unite Fest in Indianapolis. I was doing the math, looking at it, and it should have literally stop, I want to say, the day or the day after the Potter event in Indianapolis is over. Now, the only trace foundable you're actually going to be able to find in part 2 is going to be the sorting hat, which is kind of good, though, because that allows people who didn't get all of the foundables from the first part to be able to get them if they need them still. Plus, you don't want, I want to say, like 7 or 8 different trace foundables floating around while you're trying to discern the new ones from part 2. Going over and looking at the other ones from part 2, again, there's the 3-kilometer port key. You get a bunch of them actually from quest rewards and fortresses. So basically, it's the same thing as most of the other Brilliant events, except for the big key thing that they changed was the 3-kilometer port key instead of it being a 7-kilometer port key. And again, I really feel like that's going to make a lot of people happy. They should be able to use their golden key if they actually need it, if they don't have any silver keys, in order to open up all those port keys. I do want to remind everybody, though, that since it is a part 1 and a part 2 Brilliant event, they will share the same rune stones. So you don't want to use all of your rune stones for part 1, or you want to make sure that the registry, your level in the registry for this event, doesn't get too high, so you can get some of those rune stones for part 2. Now, also remember that the port keys for part 1 will only unlock the foundables for part 1. You will have to get rid of them and pick up new port keys once the second part starts in order to get those new foundables. Now, I do have some port keys left over from the last Potter Brilliant event. I'm currently walking them right now. I'm going to open them and see if they will give me part 1's foundables, since the event has changed, because that's how the first Brilliant event worked going into the second Brilliant event. So I will definitely let you know how that operates during the first hour video that I make for the upcoming Brilliant event. And just make sure that, like I said, you either save those silver keys or you don't mind using your gold key, because those 3-kilometer port keys, it's going to be a huge world of difference walking those versus having to walk the 7-kilometer ones like we've had to before for past Brilliant events. Thanks for taking a moment, though, for checking out the video. My name is Termentic. If you found this helpful, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Termentic. It's where I post a lot of breaking news when I don't have time to make videos. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.